All right, everybody. Well, welcome to another episode of Local Growth Academy, where we talk about everything to do with like owning and running and scaling amazing local businesses. With me, I got my buddy Daniel Thayer. He's the CEO and founder of Integrity Painting out of Colorado. What exact city are you in? You're like, I mean, you're kind of a little bit to the west of Denver, right?
Yeah, I'm over by Utah, like right on the border.
Okay,
So
right. Yeah,
yeah, it's Grand Junction. It's just like a small town, 150 people with the surrounding areas.
yeah, awesome. And how and
150,000.
how big's your how big's your company as of this year?
This year we'll do 5 million. I've been kind of just staying steady at that pace.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I wouldn't knock that out, man. Like almost no one gets to that pace statistically. Like I mean, how many people are like 1 to 5 man teams and like under a million. That's a really really great accomplishment. Well, man, we've known each other for a little while, man, and I know a little bit about your story, but I'd love to kind of just share some of your story and like how you got to where you are. I'm always really fascinated with you. One of my favorite things about you is like just how good of a natural leader you are, and like how good you've been able to like recruit cool people and grow the team. Because I mean, you can't grow a $5 million company with no help, right? I mean, you need help for that. That's always been the thing that I've loved most about you. So you want to kind of maybe kind of give us the short version of like how you got started in this and how you kind of got where you are.
Yeah. I worked for a small company when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I worked for them for a couple summers, and then um, I was like, 9/11 happened, and I was like, you know what? I want to go join the military. So I joined the Navy and spent 4 years there. And like the work ethic that I got out of that,
Yeah.
just the long hours, and it's a really long hour type of job. I mean, it's very. But I worked out a lot, which I enjoyed. I got good at
Yeah.
that, and then it's just like the long hours and being away from family. And when I decided to get out after the 4 years and came back, and I worked a couple jobs, and then I just went back to painting. I was like, got a job painting, and I just really enjoyed it. And after a couple years, or after a year, my boss, I asked him for a raise, and he wouldn't give me a dollar raise. So I went out on my own and figured that, you know, I would try it out for myself. So I just started knocking doors. I didn't even have a sprayer at the time. I was just going into the nice neighborhoods and trying to touch up some trim and paint some doors here and there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what got me going.
That's awesome, man. How long ago was that? So when you started that door knocking and branched out on your own.
2010.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, that's you've been in business for yourself for a little while, then, man. How I have a question for you. I don't know this, but how long did it take for you to get like out of like the one man with the brush and door knock into like where you started hiring people? How long was that?
It was a few years. I had a guy working with me mostly. I would have like my friends come work with me, and we would do projects together, and I would just teach them how to paint. And a lot of them have their own companies now too. So like,
Oh, that's
um,
kind of cool.
yeah, so I kind of helped them get going and taught them all a skill. And a lot of my friends that I had back then, they all have their own company, and they're doing pretty good. I still help them out too now.
That's
I've subbed
awesome.
out to them a few times, but the biggest change for me was we had 2 jobs in the same neighborhood, and I
Hmm.
was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try painting both of them at the same time." And so I had extra guy, and I just jumped back and forth, and we painted them both at the same week. And I was like, "Okay," like, I was doing the math on it. I was like, "Okay, we can keep doing this." So, we started scheduling more and more every week after that, and started to grow the company.
And just bringing on painters and stuff just to handle the workload.
Yeah, mostly we just trained everybody. I think most of our guys, I got lucky with some good painters here and there.
Hmm.
But most of our guys, we just trained from scratch. It seemed like it was easier to teach them our way that we wanted things done. And
Hmm.
as long as they're really hard worker and they're really nice people, and it was easy to just teach them how to do the prep and spray.
Well, dude, you talked about with the military, and thank you for your service, by the way. As you know, I was in the Air Force too, and one of the things that I picked up from the Air Force is they didn't teach us. I just it's something I observed is like they have like an age limit. They don't want people coming in with like that are too old in a career, and there might be some of it's about health, but I think a lot of it's like the mental thing. They want someone that is young enough that's not set in their ways, so they can like teach them their way. You know. And it sounds like that's what you did there, which is like really really cool. I know that's a hugely debated topic though, like hire an existing painter or hire from scratch. I know like Nick Slavic is like one of the titans in the industry. Obviously, he hires a ton of new people. His intern program teaches people. I love that. Not I think not only like bringing people into trades, but it's like you said, you get to like have people do it your way, which is a lot harder to do later. You know,
I mean, somebody's got to teach them, right? So
might as well be
they
you.
gotta learn from somewhere. This year we're not training anybody. Uh,
Okay.
we scaled back on training last year also, but
Okay.
10, 15 years of training that we did do
Hmm.
has paid off long term because a lot of our guys, they have started their own companies or went to other places, came back, and now a lot of them are our subs that we
That's
originally
awesome.
trained. So,
So, oh, that's really cool. So you like train them, and then they kind of branched out, built their own little sub crew, but then they're still subbing for you.
mhm,
That's really really cool. How
yeah.
how many crews or painters do you have for that like volume that you do?
Well, I was pretty excited this year. We had 16 painters at our meeting, which is really awesome because previous years we've been up to 60 painters and then we scaled back down to like 40 and then now we're down to 20. And it's just we've been moving more towards subs. So like a lot of them, there's a lot of our painters that have been with us that we helped them get their own. We gave them a sprayer, we gave them a van, we helped them set up their LLC, and then we just subcontract to them now too.
Oh,
Because
that's kind of neat. That's kind
yeah,
of neat. So you actually help them become a sub.
yeah, it's better for everybody. I mean, they could do the work themselves, make twice as much, and
Hmm.
they could hire a guy if they want. And when they're hiring those guys, they're actually training for a company, and then those guys can branch off and also get into the program where we set them up with make them a subcontractor also.
Oh, that's really cool. I don't know that I've heard of anyone do that before. That's a pretty neat approach. I like that a lot. That's really really neat. Did you get that from somebody else, or did you just kind of like just started doing it?
Um, Trading the painters into subcontractors.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I got that from Eric Barstow. He's my
Oh,
coach.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, I love Eric, man. He's a really good dude.
I was
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to switch them over, and it was really difficult because a lot of painters they like the 8 hour days and the holidays and
yeah.
steady work. But the problem is in the winter, it gets slow and the work's not as steady. So I really like making them a sub. They can make way more money and then stack it up. And then in the winter, they could just take it off or find their own jobs. Uh,
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I'm a lot of snow skiing up there they can do in the winter, you know what
yeah.
I mean?
One of my one of my top painting crews that's a sub, he's got 5 or 6 guys and
Okay.
they all go ski. They go skiing all winter, but they're like our top crew. We keep them busy all winter. Like they're always doing these huge jobs for us. Like they'll come in, knock out a job, and then they take off Friday through Sunday and go skiing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I man, there's a complete side tangent. I've actually never skied in Colorado. Been
Mm,
there a few times, but I really want to go. We were there. It was last year in PCA. I know a few people went to some slopes there. The group I was in didn't want to go skiing, so we just did something else. But I kind of want to go back there and go skiing me with you, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Come up here. I'll meet you up in Vale or go to go to one of the ski
I've only skied on like the East Coast and like like Carolina and Virginia mountains and stuff, but like, dude, those things are like a really funny story to tell you. So my brother and I were at a ski slope a couple of years ago. It's in like the Beach or Sugar Mountain in North Carolina, and we decided to go up to the black, which is not that hard of a black because it's Carolina mountains, not Colorado mountains, but it's a black. It's pretty steep. We'll go up there, and they have like a little bar up at the top. We just went up there and had coffee and hung out. They got a fire pit right up the top, and then we dropped down. It's probably like 11 or so that we did this, and enough for the sun to come out. And so I dropped down, and I'm an okay skier. I've never snowboarded, but I'm okay skier. Not great, but I can turn and stop, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die. And I've done blacks before, so I go down, I hit that thing, and then I start trying to brake because it's steep. And immediately I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a bad day," because it just like it was smooth, it was glass. The sun had come out enough to give it like so. I'm at a pitch like this. My skis are like this, and it's not stopping at all. And I'm like, crap. So I bail and just like slowly work myself off to like they had the snow kind of plowed like off, and I basically like forced myself into a bank to stop myself. That was the only way I could stop. I was like, yeah, this is not going to be a good day. I took my boots off and I walked my butt down the rest of that.
That's so
it
funny.
was, dude, it was scary. That was probably the most scared I've ever been on a
I snapped my
mountain.
I snapped my hand right here. You can see my wrist pop
Oh
up.
man.
I snapped it in half. I hit this jump, came down, landed, and my arm was touching my elbow.
Ooh.
My
Ooh.
fingers were touching my elbow. I was at the hospital. I was like, "Look, Bonnie."
Yeah, most of my skiing was kids. I grew up in Florida, man. We did like water skiing and like kneeboarding and wakeboarding and stuff like
I
that.
love
So
Florida.
not as much, very very little snow experience, but I'd love to get
We have
back.
a small mountain here right next to my house. It's
Is it
about
good for like
45
learning
minutes.
on?
Huh?
Is it good for like learning on?
Oh, dude, it's good for learning on, and it has like back mountain trails. Like you can go down through this back area and it's got all these trees and jumps. I mean, there's huge cliffs you can jump off. Like it's
Oh, that's
crazy.
awesome. That
Yeah,
sounds
there's so
super.
much, and it's only 45 minutes from my house, but I always like to go up
That's
to the
amazing.
ski resorts too, because it's more like
Yeah,
once a year you
dude.
get more out of
We're
it.
almost out of the season now, man. I'll plan a trip and come up and see you in Colorado.
There was no
One of my high school.
season here anyway. You didn't miss anything.
Uh,
It didn't even
yeah.
snow here.
Oh
It's
no,
been
no way.
70 degrees most of the winter.
Oh, that sucks.
It's good for painting.
Um, yeah, that is good for painting. That's a nice winter. I bet your crew stayed super busy.
Yeah, we're about
Um,
100,000 over our what we've been planning. So we're ahead of schedule this year. We're super excited about it. And one
that's
thing I
awesome,
like to
man.
do on my production is like I'll set it up where we have slow season. So like we'll plan for 40K a week, and then we'll slowly
Hmm.
ramp up. Like February, we'll ramp it up to 60K. And then now we're at
Hmm.
about 80K, and then we start to hit 100K. And then we try to stay there
Nice.
all the way to the 1st of December. We drop it back down to 60 and then 40. And then we just take it easy the rest
Gotcha.
of the winter and start back up. So it's kind of like that, but it works out really
That's
good
awesome.
for
Yeah,
us.
that's really cool. I like that you have like broke it down even into week targets. So I mean, outside of the production stuff, man, what is? I know you guys have like killer sales rates and all that kind of stuff. Talk me through what like your sales team looks like.
So we have 2 sales guys that do residential estimators, and then we
Hmm.
have 1 commercial estimator. And basically, um, we're just trying to produce work for 2 PMs right now. So um, I I kind of look for people that I like when I first meet them, like super friendly, really nice to be around. They end up being like a high I.
Yeah,
So like I go through like Jason Phillips. I go through him on like helping with
his sales
hiring
boot camp stuff.
through his disc assessments.
Yeah,
And that's really helped me out a lot because a couple years ago I was just putting the wrong people in the wrong places and not supporting them the way they need to be supported. And
yeah,
so now I'm like, I look at their disc, I find out what they're good at, and then I find out what they need help with, and then I use that to help them to grow and not lose and to make sure like if they're having issues in that area, I can help them keep that area going. But I think
for sure.
everybody can do. I feel like anybody can do anything. Like, there's a lot of painting in the like. There's a lot of painting companies out there where the owner doesn't fit any of the discs, but they adapt and they learn what their weaknesses are and they grow in those areas. So like I try to stick to what the disc says, but I know like there's a lot that you can do to help support them and I've been focused on the last 2 years is being a better leader and a better person and just being able to support my team because like that's what is the most important thing. Like you can't scale if you're not a good leader and you're not good at supporting people.
Agreed. I heard this thing. You know who Simon Sinek is?
Mm-mm.
He's he's written a bunch of leadership books. He's also like a TED Talk speaker. He
Mm.
said something one time in one of his TED Talks that like really resonated with me, and I think it changed the way I thought about leadership. He said like no one becomes a leader. You just become student of leadership.
Mm.
Like it's an endless journey. You know what I mean? It's not like a bat or like a rank in the military. It's not like I got it now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like this like endless pursuit. And I love Jason Phillips. I follow him. I think he's one of the best leaders in the space. But even he was like, yeah, man, I'm a student. I'm always learning. You know. And I think that that's really the key. I mean, we've known each other for a few years. I mean, I see you as a better leader than when we first met, you
Yep.
know? And I think it's just that learning, learning from people, learning systems, personality test is one of those things, you know what I mean? But I think we achieve what we focus on. And it's been really cool watching you focus on leadership.
Yeah, and you get humbled. I mean, you can try to do it on your own. You
Yeah,
can
for sure.
try to do it on your own, and you could try to, let people do what like, not be a good leader, and you could try to just walk away, and things come crashing down quick, so,
Yeah.
uh but, like, also at the same time, like, I surround myself now with a great leaders like, Jason Phillips, Eric Barstow. Like, I wanna be around them and talk to them as much as I can, like, I know they're growing and I'm growing, so, like, I'm hoping that just, like, keeps bringing me up to where they're at. I mean, those guys were
100%.
awesome.
Yeah, I love both of them too. I think they're super, super great people. Um, I don't know Eric as well as you do, but I do know him. He's a really good dude. Um, I know Jason Phillips a little bit better than I know Eric. I really like him too. Um, Dude, my wife is in a text group with Jason's wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, she has
that's
like a
cool.
women's only text group. She's been in that for a little while, and she's always like, "Oh man, she texted me something that's really cool," and she's always like texting like really motivational things for like the women group that she's doing. I was like, "Man, that's just really really cool." But
Yeah,
yeah, like I think both Jason and his wife Rochelle, they're like super super generous, like stewards, if you will. You know what I mean? They're really really great people. I think there's some amazing human beings. Um, I learn something I learn something every time I'm around them, which is really really awesome. Um, yeah,
yeah,
dude,
I'm in the text thread too with, Jason, and then
yeah,
I just forward it to my guys, like, I'll see a good one from my guys, and I'm like, "Hey," and I just write it in their name to them. I'm like,
yep,
I try to help them because I want them to be leaders. Basically, I want them to take my spot. Like every
yeah.
spot that I'm in, I want somebody to take that, and then I want to move to a next position.
I mean, that's what I've been doing for probably like the last 5 to 6 years. It's like I was like, okay, you know, get out of marketing completely. It was my first job, and then it's like, okay, get out of production management, and then at this point, I'm not even the CMO of the company. Like, I don't even make the marketing and strategy decisions. So, um, it's been pretty cool to do that. Like, just keep replacing myself always. Um, I, I at some point I might replace myself as CEO. I haven't really made that decision yet. But my only real active role right now is CEO. So I'm not. I don't
Mm.
have any other function. Um, so that's kind of cool. I get to really just like focus on content more, focus on leadership more, focus on helping the team and problems, and spending a lot more time with like cool tools and software things and AI and more like playing and testing because I don't have like 40 hours worth of work to do, and it just like I'm just like leading and helping people problem solve and all that kind of fun stuff. Um, do we
It takes a lot of work to grow and to teach people and to find things that will help
It's
everybody
slow,
be
but it's the right
successful.
way,
I mean, this is you could so like I love to find people that I love to find good people and help them grow and into a position like and I think it's because being in like a small town, I can't just go down the street and find a painting estimator or a painting business manager or a GM that does painting. Like I'm the only one that's the size that I am in the whole town. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't do
you
that.
dominate your town. Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, I could go outside of there, but to me, it's like like, I find somebody I like, um, and I'm like, "Okay," like, they have management experience, they have, painting experience, I'm like and they're really good at listening and getting better, I'm like, "That's something that I like to find," and those are the people I like to be around, and then
Yeah.
when I get stuff from Eric or, Jason, I just pass it down to them and say, "Hey,
That's
this is something I learned this week,"
yeah.
start and
That's really, really awesome. Yeah, I do the same thing. Like I'm in a few coaching programs myself. The biggest one I'm in one of Andy Elliott's coaching programs, and is one of his like bigger groups. And dude, I learn a lot of stuff from those guys, man. And I'm always grabbing lessons and pulling that and like teaching my team and stuff.
do you go on the
Um,
Sunday night one where they do the live Sunday night? I always get on that one.
yeah, the live Sunday ones. So I'm in the Brotherhood programs. It's like the bigger group. I was in a Brotherhood meetup last
Yeah.
night. I go to quite a few events. I think I did like 4 or 5 events of his last year, not including PaintCon being in his place. I went one in Miami and a few out in Arizona, and there's one coming up in a 2 months. It's like early May in Tampa. I'll be at that one. And then there's one over my birthday weekend in April 10th in Arizona. I'll be at that one too. So I'm bringing this year, like last year was like mostly just me and my wife. This year I'm going to just bring some more of my leaders with me, you know. So that's going to be pretty cool, and they're super excited about it.
That does and it's really good to have those type of people, like, I would join that. I think Andy Elliott, like, he's a great Christian guy, he loves his
Hmm.
family, he loves
Yep,
people, he treats people very well, like, he is
he
great
does.
at training sales guys and giving them opportunity. I'm every one of the guys that works for him has, like, a story, they're all saved Christian guys that
Hmm.
used to have problems or something going on, and he basically helped guide them into a new path, and, like, I love that
Yeah,
kind of stuff. I
I know,
just
I know, I know quite a few of those people pretty well, like those coaches and stuff, and like every single one of them that I've ever met is one, an amazing human being, and two, just absolutely like A players, and three, like has some at least one story about like how Andy helped like overturn his life, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so when I look at that, like that's the kind of I hope that somebody someday says those kind of things about me, right? And I'm sure at a smaller scale, maybe some people already
Yeah.
have. Like, at that level, it'd be pretty darn cool.
I mean, to help someone change their life, like, he's gotta be in their life about around them so much, and, like, his influence is so much up here, and his leadership ship is so contagious that he's just, like, bringing people up. It's nuts how he can do that.
Dude, I learned something about his company just yesterday that I was like, whoa, what? It made my head spin. So you know how like companies have like a lot of traditional companies have like annual performance reviews, right?
Mhm.
We do quarterly like one-on-ones. We don't call them performance reviews. We're just like checking in as people as humans, right? And I know some people that do it monthly. We've been doing it quarterly. Dude, they do it weekly. Every individual there has a one-on-one with leadership weekly. I'm like, wait a second, 52 one-on-ones with average like corporation does this like one a year, like one human check-in a year,
Mm.
and I was like, oh man, I'm doing at least 4 times that. No, 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 he's doing 52 times what most corporations do. That's an amazing amount of time spent with the individuals on an individual. We're talking about like going into Andy's office, sitting down with him or his wife. But like, wow, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of freaking like that's the scale of that and how much dedication and time that takes is pretty impressive, you know?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're part of that group, like, it's just gonna elevate you. I would be part of it, but I'm already in like a few
You're in
groups.
like a dozen other groups.
I had to get out of probably 3 or 4 groups last year just because
Too
it's
many.
so hard to implement and then be in a group and then not be a leader, and then like you're trying to help your company, and then you've got a meeting every other hour, and it's like, I would rather just focus on uh growing my company and scaling it and helping my guys become better leaders.
I love that decision. And I know you've even attended a couple of our like group coaching calls and stuff. Like
Yeah.
one of the things and I'm not hurt that you're not there anymore, by the way. One of the things I personally believe is the same thing what you're talking about. I came to this realization maybe 15 years ago. Um, my first 5 years going out on my own, I was doing like too many things at once, and I was like, oh, this is nuts. So I made a decision about 15 years ago that I would pick one coach per year, at least for business. Like I have
Yeah.
a shooting coach, I have like a physical coach, right? But like for business development, one per year. And a couple times I've done the same one for a couple years, but like I won't do like 5 different coaches in one calendar year because then you just it's like too many things, different opinions, too many things to attend, and you end up spending all your time learning and none of your time doing and implementing, and then like I don't get anything of it. I've done that a couple of times. It's not so you waste all this money in these coaching programs, you don't actually do anything, you know?
Yep. I've seen it happen a bunch, and then,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, basically, there's a couple of things that are really important that you need to work on, and you just work on those things until they're perfect and then move to the next ones. Like if you got coaches coming from every direction and you're getting
Hmm.
different advice from every direction, like it's really hard to implement all that.
Well, and some of the coaches in this space and even in other spaces, like, I mean, there's like always 1,000 problems in any business, right? But there's really only a few key areas, marketing and sales, leadership, hiring, blah, 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 right? A few departments. And like every coach that I know is strong in like a couple of those. I know no coach that's strong in like every possible thing, you
Mm,
know? And so I know Jason Phillips is really great on like leadership and his sales systems. That's what I mean. He probably does other things, but like he's really strong there.
yeah.
Eric Barstow is really strong with like his numbers and systems. Love it.
And he's really, really, really good at managing his time. Like his
Yeah, time management.
Yep, like
Yep,
that's one hour a week that we get training on, that it helps
time
you
management.
organize your schedule, block calendars, make sure your integrity sticking to it.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's one thing that I'm improving on this year because I really want to be like have high integrity, be on time.
Yeah,
And then like he's really good at that, but like he only spends an hour. I think when I first met him, he only spent an hour on his company a week, and then the rest was with his family. And he
that's
has like
cool.
21 painting companies, and but he has all these great people that he's a leader
Running it.
to and
Yeah,
helps them
and
become leaders. And a lot of them are freeing out of the companies also. Like they're all coming out and freeing out, like they're all getting out of the company and becoming owners also of the companies.
that's awesome. That's really
Mhm.
cool. Yeah, dude, I'm a huge proponent of like time blocking, being respectful of the time. I basically plan my week on Sundays and I just kind of block
Yeah.
it all out. And then I live by that calendar unless something crazy urgent happens, which is super rare. I just, what the calendar says is what I do, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love that concept, man. I learned that quite a long time ago, and it changed how I do things.
To
I
me.
also do like a quick like 15-minute check-in in the day. So I kind of like roughly plan my week on Sunday evenings, like kind of big blocks of time, and then I always leave a couple flex blocks, like kind of empty spots for anything maybe kind of semi-urgent, and so then I check in at the beginning of the day with the team, and maybe like my head of clients needs like 15 minutes for like help with the decision or something. Like, okay, let's go here. You know what I mean? So I leave a little bit of flex time with that kind of stuff. And then once that's set, it's just like I just run it. It's like a
Mhm.
football play. It's like this is it, just go, you know. And
Yeah.
for me, it's been empowering because like if I'm in a block now, like we're talking right now, and like whenever this is over, I don't know what's on my calendar next. But as soon as we're done, I'll go look at it, and that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Like it's already there. So it's freeing to me because while we're here doing this, or if I'm with somebody else or doing something else, I can be 100% focused on that thing. I don't have to think about what's next. I don't have to try to make decisions about what's next. I can be 100% present on the thing that I'm doing because I've already made the decision at some earlier time. And I just love I don't remember where I first heard about time blocking. It was probably somewhere around like a decade ago. And I mean like I'm constantly evolving it a little bit to work for
Hmm.
me. But I absolutely love that concept. I think it's really cool that Eric is does like a weekly um, training on that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, I think like a lot of people, like they would be like, you're 10 minutes late to their house and you probably lose tons of work. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
people don't want to deal with somebody that can't say do what they're going to say.
Yeah, yeah.
And older people, they really don't like that.
Oh yeah, especially if they've had like any service experience, right? Because I mean, you were in the service like 15 minutes early is late kind of mentality. Like I know, like if I walked, I remember if I walked in at like 15 minutes, 15 minutes and 1 second before the hour, I was late and getting yelled at, right? It had to be before 15 minutes before, and that was still like really you should have been here 30 minutes early, but like I'll accept it and won't yell at you if you're 15 minutes or that was how we worked, right? And it was like, man, 1 minute and it's like you'd have to like do 100 push-ups or something or weekend duty or something. I mean, you just get your butt handed to you, you know.
Well, when I get coaching from Eric, so like I usually show up about 30 minutes early and I
Mm-hmm.
wait there. And then as soon as he jumps on, I put my hand up first. I'm the first one to put my hand up. And then I have my question already typed
Ready.
up and ready to go. I submit it to the chat. And so
Love
like
it.
I do all that, but I know that's what he would do. So I'm like trying to just be like more like him and how he would like whatever I think he would do. That's how I've been trying to
That's
be
amazing.
so I could
That's
keep
amazing.
growing. So
For everyone listening, Daniel did that to me today. So I pulled up my webinar software to record this about 30 minutes early, and Daniel was already here. So just for context, he absolutely means this. I thought it was really, really cool that you did
and
that,
what's
man.
crazy is 2 years ago or even last year, I was always 10, 15 minutes late. I didn't care about anything. We were doing great. Everything was going smooth. And I'm like, but like this year, that's what I want to do is be a better leader and be on time and hold my integrity and everything I say, that's what I'm going to do. So,
Yeah, I would add something at the end of that too. One of the things that I think gets more people than showing up on no, people showing up on time is definitely an issue. A lot of people are late. I think one of the things that I found is that like people will take a 30-minute meeting and turn it into a 2 hour meeting all the
mm,
time. And so like I try to be super, super respectful of the start, but also the end time of things.
oh,
Like
yeah, me too.
if we blocked for 30 minutes, man, I want it to last 30 minutes. Like if we needed a bigger block, we should have thought about that, you know?
Yep.
And so now I know like if your job is like sales or phone support or something, your job is to be dynamic, right? So not like those roles, it's not necessarily going to be that way. You know, for like an in-home consultation, maybe give yourself an extra 30 minutes in case something goes over so you don't like back up the next one. But if they want to go late, you know. But for planned meetings like a team morning huddle or those kind of, you know, those kind of things, like man, it'll crush everyone's day. And I've done it. I've been guilty of it. I've sabotaged my own team meetings, or like I just, ramble on for an extra 15 minutes, and then like you can see the entire team getting like mad at you while you do it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but I think the discipline there to like start on time and stop on time is like super important.
Yep. I think so too. I think it just, you got other stuff going on, like I got plans. I got to be somewhere at a certain time. Like,
Yep.
but I'm like, you know what? I want to make sure people get the most out of this and I want to get the most content out to help other painters and help them. Um, so like if you guys are painters and looking to, get out of a slump that you're in, like you could reach out to either one of us
Yeah.
anytime and we would love to help. And what do you think
Dude,
like
I've seen you on so many meetings before, like in the past, where you just like dive in and like give everyone around you just like all sorts of advice and help. I love that about you. It's one of my favorite things about you, brother.
I got people texting me all the time. They're like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or "Hey, how do I do this?" or whatever. And it's like, I even help painters in my own town. Like it's a small town, but I'm like, they're even trying to do the same jobs as me. And I'm like, yeah, make sure you're covered on this and that and this. And like,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see everybody do good. I don't, there's like so much work. Like I've had so many of my guys go on their own and like, I'm at the same numbers. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like I'll still make the same amount or more. Like it doesn't bother me at all. I used to be super
And I
competitive.
know you, and I'm pretty sure you know this, but you know that like outlook, right, is like super, super rare. You know what I mean? Because most people feel threatened by other people in their space. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you're out there like giving them help. It's a really, really amazing superpower.
There's no threat when you're at the top.
Yeah.
The only people that
I
care
think
about
ethically there's probably no threat even if you're in the middle. Like
yeah,
you know, in my vote, right? Dude, MySpace has got so many on the marketing agency side. There's so many people that are like cutthroat. And always want to like talk about each other. And like I just don't have time for that, man. I'm gonna just show up and do great stuff and try to help as many people as I can, and then that's my day. And then I just
yeah.
repeat as many times as
And half
possible.
of those people, I didn't even know who they were until they're just so controversial. I like to call them like the Conor McGregors of the painting industry or the
That's good. That's a
Jake
good
Paul,
one.
Jake Paul painting industries. That's what I call those guys. They just like to go
Yeah,
and stir up a bunch of problems, and no one knew who they were, and now everyone knows who they are. I'm like,
but
hey,
for the
bro, please shout me out.
but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, for the wrong reason.
I think I think that's an issue, and I don't. I'm not on that side of things. I don't. I mean, I have my views, and I'm going to stand behind my values. It's not like I'm a pushover or anything. Um, but I'm also just not going to get in an online debate about my
Mm.
values. You know, it's just there's not really any good reason to. You know, and it's always I don't know, man. There's so many people that spend their time like, battling religions out, battling political parties, battling even something simple like subs or W-2s. You know how many online arguments I've seen about that? It's like, dude, come on, man. Pick what
Man.
works for you best. Share your opinion by all means. Hey, this is what worked for me. This is why I liked it. Past that, man, like I don't have time for it. You
And
know,
I mean, I don't I know like it hurts people too. Like in the past I've done things and set things online or caused issues before. And like the last few years I've really tried hard to just post content that people will like no matter like what their belief or where they're from. Like I've looked at the
it's a
numbers.
good
It's like
system.
you post some pictures of your work, you get 2 likes. You post
Mm-hmm.
something super controversial, you get 300 likes, 40 comments, everybody sees it. But there's also this other
But it
thing
doesn't
that I've
help.
been noticing is you can post things that are funny for everybody and that help everybody and also get that same amount of content. So I've been working with this guy that does that. Uh, I got this new videographer guy that's been helping me, and
Oh,
he's
that's
going to
awesome.
start making us funny, interactive videos that are going to be for everybody, and it's just going to bring us a ton of value and a ton more customers. And so we're starting that
Yeah,
next week. I'm really
dude,
excited.
dude, I'm gonna be checking out your social media. I love that. I'm super
You'll
excited to
love
see.
this guy.
Yeah,
He's so awesome. I'll send you some. He is so funny. His
yeah.
name is
Send me a DM. I want to see it. Yeah,
Okay, I'll
that
send you
sounds
some
really.
of his videos.
I think that's fantastic. And I'm personally not a funny guy, so like I just don't even bother. Like, my jokes are really stupid. I always say like I'm a stand up Canadian. That kind of really stupid dry sense of humor, right?
Yeah,
Um, so I don't bother trying to be funny. My
that's me.
for me, my metric is just be helpful. Like be
So,
useful, be
oh,
helpful. If I can do that every
that's
day, if I can have one piece of tidbit to my team or to public, either way, or preferably both, if I can do that every day, I've had a good day. Like I go to bed like really, really happy with myself and proud of where I am and proud of what I've done. as long as I've not like had like an attitude with somebody or treated someone poorly, right? I've treated everyone fairly, and I've created some sort of useful, helpful
Mm.
advice. It could be a one-on-one phone call, or it could be a cool video, or a thoughtful blog, or a comment in a
Yeah,
in Drip Jobs thread. Or like, it just doesn't matter. If as long as I make some energy every day to help one person, I go to bed happy as can be. You know what I mean?
that's good.
That's really all I want to do.
That's what I've been shifting towards also. Like, I realized like this last year, I'm like, all my jokes and everything that I say or do, or I go back and tell my wife, and she's just like, "That's not funny." I'm like, "What?" Like, I thought it was funny. Like, I'm the only one laughing at my jokes, and I'm starting to realize, I'm like, you know what? I'm
Yeah,
not funny to other people. I'm only my jokes are inside jokes that are funny to me, but they are
yeah,
taking them offensively. And the jokes that are supposed to be a joke, people are think they're serious and they're
yeah.
not laughing. And I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and try to route that to a different path. That's why I hired this guy to help me make fun
I love it.
content that's more helpful. And
That's awesome, dude. On that note, man. I was riding around town one day, and my wife was in the passenger seat. My daughter was on the back. I don't remember what the joke was. That was not the important part of the story. But I told some really, really stupid, kid-friendly joke, right? But it was really dumb. And my wife laughs because she laughs at everything. She's just a giggle kind of personality. Like, she literally giggles like nonstop. But then a couple seconds of silence, and I heard from the back seat, my daughter goes, "Daddy, you're funny, but you're not hilarious." And she was just like deadpan. And then my wife and I both just like busted out laughing harder at that, of course, than my own joke, because my joke was really dumb. She wasn't even trying to be funny. It was great. That's like a family inside joke to this day. So dad's funny, but not hilarious, you know? Um,
it's crazy how smart those kids are. My daughter's 7 years old, and she's like, "Dad, I thought we were supposed to be good Christians while we're driving. That doesn't look like something
uh-oh.
Jesus would like." And yeah, you know,
dude,
and she's
dude,
so smart. She doesn't cuss. She doesn't say anything mean. She's so sweet. And I'm just like,
I know.
I want to be
Kids,
more like
kids are
her. And she's 7 years old.
kids are fantastic. I think there's probably so many lessons in what you just said, like trying to be more like a kid. I mean, the innocence, but also like the bluntful truth, because they'll call out everything that they see. You know, if I mess up, the first person to tell me is my daughter.
Mm.
First person. You know what I mean? My wife lets more of my idiotic self go than my daughter does. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. My daughter's telling me about it. She's like, "Dad, you messed up." I'm like, "Okay." And I think that's really, really humbling from my perspective, but it's also really cool that she does that. You know what I mean? And I hope it never stops.
Yeah. You're teaching her the right way, which I love this for my kids. Like I'm excited to see they have a great leader. They have a great mom. They're gonna grow up and have a great opportunity at life. Like I'm excited to see what that does for them. And I think that's, I mean, you look around and there's kids running wild, and there's parents that are there for them, and it's really sad. That's why I really liked being part of the kids programs at church. I always been gravitated to helping kids and being there for
Yeah.
them, and so
Yeah, man. I mean, like, so many like people just have like, uh, major family issues growing up. Like, super. I read this one statistic, and I forget exactly where I heard it. But it was like a scientific paper. It wasn't like just some random blog. And they were saying that like kids that have step parents, so they've been divorced and dad or mom or both get remarried, have a 14 times more likely abusive household than married couples.
mm,
So in other words, if you're a kid in a married home, your abuse rate is whatever it is, right? If you have a divorced and remarried parents, then that goes up by a factor of 14.
man,
That's just, I don't know, that's just nuts to me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I'm, you know, thankful
That
that I
must
picked
that
like an
must mean I'm at like 300%. I've like what
yeah,
seven stepdads and five stepmoms. I mean,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
made it. So, you know, people, you don't have to live in your past. You can move forward.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, I was one of those kids. I mean, I had step parents, and I had a very abusive household. Not
Oh,
from my parents; it was from my step parents, right? So it was like exactly what the study I'm just talking about, right?
yeah,
Um,
me too.
and I mean, it's not something that I hold on to anymore. Like, I mean, it affected me pretty negatively for a while. I've grown past it, but it's still a thing, you know. And it's just something like I wouldn't really wish on anybody, you know what I mean? And for me, and you know, it's not the only solution. And sometimes people can avoid divorce, but like, you
Yeah.
know, I took my time marrying. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, I was like, I'm not getting married until I'm positive this is the person. You know what I mean? And Karen and I've been together for
that's awesome.
coming up on 18 years, something like that. So we've been together
Wow.
for a minute.
That's
Yeah,
very rare these days. People don't really
I
take
know. Isn't
marriage
it
vows
crazy?
very seriously anymore. I
I
see it all the
know.
time, and I I think me and my wife dated for like 2 weeks and we got married, so I was like the complete opposite.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I had
Well,
a
you guys knew right away.
but we both had a checklist of what we were looking for, like, we wanted
Perfect.
this, and I was all those things, and I wanted
Yeah,
this, and she was all those things, and it was just easy. It was
yeah.
like, "Hey, let's
That's
I don't
awesome.
wanna play house. You wanna get married or" you know what I mean? I don't wanna
Yeah,
sit here and play
it's
games,
really
like
awesome. I love that.
yeah,
I love that, man.
mhm,
I think my wife probably would have married me a lot sooner. I was the one that
yeah,
took my feet. And when
I
it
bet
wasn't
she
because I didn't know. It wasn't because I didn't know. Like I knew almost right away.
yeah.
I was just scared.
I think
I just waited too long. That's
I
all. It
think
was just me being a dumb kid,
I
you
think
know?
most people know. They're just scared, and, I mean, who can blame them when
That's it.
your
I was
parents
scared.
get divorced
Hmm.
500 times, like, you can't really trust
And
people.
I think that's why I was scared because like my mom remarried a couple times, my dad remarried once, and I was just like, man, I was just constant
Yeah,
divorce and remarried. Like, so
even
I
worse,
think I was
traumatic.
overly cautious about making that commitment because I'm with you. Like I took those words seriously.
Yeah.
It wasn't just some shit I said on a stage. Like I meant those words, right? And
Mm,
I was just wanted to be really careful before I
that's
did. But yeah,
beautiful.
I was totally scared, dude. That's all it was.
You teach a lot of, painters and help people grow their company, like,
Hmm.
what's that how do you get them to, like, change their mind and start growing and, like, actually listen and, like, what's the like, what makes them get over 1,000,000? Like, how do you get them to that point?
Well, the way so and everyone's I think you could take is my honest opinion. I think you could line up, let's say, five reasonably good coaches and say, hey, I want you, let's talk about a subject. Let's just say it's like sales, big anything, but let's just say it's that. And let's just say they all were good at that thing. They all had enough information. Well, they're all going to have slightly different ways of explaining it. You know what I mean? Like the way that Joel explains sales, the way that Jason explains sales, the way that, you know, Barstow and like everyone, myself included, there's all going to be a way that we say it. And for one person listening, they'll be like, that the way that guy's saying it doesn't really click. And the way this guy does, oh, that clicks. So I think that's the first thing. We all experienced that when we were in school. Like we've all had that one teacher that like we felt like we understood, we learned from, and we all had that teacher that, like no matter what they said, we never really grasped what they were talking
Mhm.
about, right? And it might not have been it might not have been the actual subject. It might have just been the teaching style not aligned because you
Mm,
know, like the disc profile, the DISC, like people learn differently.
mhm.
And if you're not a really highly knowledgeable teacher where you can adapt like that, you probably only have one teaching style. And so one person will get you and another person won't. And so even though I do understand disc profiles, I still just have my natural teaching style and that's it. And some people are going to love it and some people aren't. So I think that that's the first thing that for me, it was like, there's going to be people that could listen to the same thing from five other coaches. I could tell them exactly the same words and then it'll click,
Mm,
not necessarily because I'm better, just because something about me resonated with them. And that sometimes is enough.
mm,
The mechanic part that I actually, that's unconscious, that just happens, right? The conscious part about what I think I do different is I'm a super objective person. Even when I get emotional, I'll sit and unpack the emotion and like I'm a really dork like this, but I'll just think about like if then statements. Okay, well, this emotion happened because of this condition. How can I prevent that? How can I limit this? How can I, you know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. Um, I speak a lot. I do a lot of podcasts. I speak on stages. I do live events. I do a lot of YouTube recordings. I'm on Zoom speaking publicly or to clients or in podcasts or just to team members approximately 6 hours every day.
Wow.
Every day. That's a lot of speaking. And nearly all of it is teaching. Now, this is just back and forth with you and I, but most of it's teaching. And so here's the weird thing. I'm a crazy introvert. Like it might not seem like it, but I'm incredibly introverted. And so what that means is like the difference between an introvert and extrovert is like an introvert loses emotional energy and capacity with conversations, right? Technically speaking, while I love you to death, I'm technically losing emotional energy just having this conversation, right? But I do with every conversation. It's not you, it's just me, right? Extroverts gain energy by having conversations. So typically they can have more conversations. So I learned this about myself a long time ago, and I wanted to get better at speaking. I would get super nervous and super anxious, even with just like one-on-one conversations. Put me in a group and I would just fall apart. And but I didn't want to maintain that. I wanted to fix that. So what I did is I said, hey, I'm going to figure out how to control those emotions. I'm going to pay attention to how long of a conversation I have before I need a reset, right? And so one of the things I do when I do a live event or a podcast or anything else is I will just take 5 minutes and go off and not talk to somebody. Like if anyone's ever seen me speak on a stage and you try to talk to me 5 minutes before, I'm going to ignore you completely. I will be like in another room towards a wall, looking out a window. I just need 5 minutes of just almost like a meditation kind of moment. And if I do that, I have zero problems.
Yeah.
If I don't, I have anxiety.
Oh,
And so, and it's really that simple. Now that's just me. Everyone's gonna be a little different, but I figured that out. And so if I just have that 5 minute reset before a long meeting, that 5 minute reset before a podcast, that 5 minute reset before going on stage, that 5 minute reset before a live event, I'm fine.
mm,
Zero problems. It's when I don't do that that there's problems. So if I go like back to 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 back with no 5 minute breaks in between, halfway through the day, the anxiety goes up, the frustration goes up, and I stop becoming my best version of myself.
wow.
And so, because I've figured that out about myself, I think that the only real conscious advantage that I have in the way that I teach people is I am super logical like that with other people and say, hey, look, if we can figure out and sit down and say, the way that you work, the way that your company works, if we can sit and figure out, oh, because you don't like this, let's do this instead. Because I mean, there's some common playbooks. I mean, there's, some basic marketing playbooks, some answer your phone and how to set appointments and CRMs to use and some basic scripts and processes to do in sales, right?
Yeah.
But there's going to be nuance with what that business owner is mentally ready to do. And so I try to meet people where they are. I give them anecdotes about how I've overcome some of these kinds of things and how to figure out how to tailor it for their personality. You talked about this earlier, like you try to like play the other side of the profiles of the disc profile that you are, right? And we can do that to a degree, but it's easier to also stay in your lane. And so what I try to do is work people on like their lane of where they
Yeah.
are, meet them where they are, and just help them. That's the only real advantage I think that I have. And it's only because, and it literally is because of that speaking thing, me figuring out I was an introvert and figuring out how to solve it.
Well, I
Like
don't
almost no one
suggest,
that sees me speak.
I'm not suggesting at all to put somebody that doesn't fit their disc into a position. I'm just saying like
No, you were just talking about yourself. You try to push it a little bit.
I'm just saying like some people are like a 99 or like a 90% fit. And then there's that
Yeah,
10%
yeah,
that help.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah,
that's what I meant. Cause like I
yeah,
put
yeah.
people in wrong positions and it is
Oh
so
yeah.
difficult. I mean,
Oh, it's so hard.
unless
It's
you
so
got
hard.
them like really bought in and they really want to learn, that's up to them really. But it's just so much easier to get somebody that's fits that exact position, has that experience, and then put them
Yeah,
on the spot.
yeah. Well, I mean, and I think in a longer timeline, because like I've spent 20 years trying to undo my introvertedness, right? And I don't really feel very introverted now, even though I know technically I am. Um, but that was really small gains. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a learn this script and I'm fine. That was years of constant introspective focus for me to get over that. Right.
I knew this
Um,
guy. He would get called to come up and preach at the church, and
mhm.
I swear he looked like he was having a panic attack. And then he would go up there and he would do the best job. And then afterwards,
Amazing.
I swear he'd run off and throw up afterwards. But like he
Well,
just nailed it.
that's I heard this one guy talking about online in like a podcast thing, and he was talking about introvert and extroverts, and he had a really great example, and it sounds like this guy. So this guy was saying, "Hey, imagine you had two piano players, and they're both equal skilled, and they're both playing some I don't know like a Beethoven piece or something. One of them is an introvert and one of them is an extrovert. Do either one of them play the piano differently? No, no, they don't." Just because one of them may be a little bit more shy and introverted and the other one's a little bit more extroverted personality wise, when it's the moment to do the thing that you need to do, for that example, it's a piano player. When it's that moment, if you have the skills, you just do it.
Yeah.
And so like for me, like speaking on stage is a part of it's like I introduce some story and stuff, but there's an actual craft, a studyable skill to being able to speak. There's a studyable skill to be able to do sales, right? These are learnable skills,
Yeah.
right? And so I just said, some people may be naturally good at speaking and naturally good at sales. I'm like, okay, outside of when I'm actually speaking, I'm very introverted. But when I'm there, it's just 100%. Let's go. Just like you're talking about. Like I get nervous before and after, but when I'm speaking, I'm fine. Now I don't throw up, but I've heard of people. I've heard of people doing that, man.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's wild,
Yep. So
dude. I love it, man. Dude, before we wrap up, man, do you have any like final wisdom nuggets that you maybe want to leave the audience with? Big takeaways for last year. Top
I
three
just
things,
think
like anything.
picking a coach that's gonna get you where you want to go. I mean, like when I picked Eric Barstow, it was like the reason why is I wanted to work less hours on my business. I wanted a team that could run it better without me around.
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't care about the money. Like I grew up with, very minimum, like I wasn't like rich or anything, but like I didn't care. Like I don't care about the money. I care about the freedom and having good people around me and just not having to deal with drama. Like that's what I want. And like that when I picked Eric, it was like that's what he had in his life. And I'm like, I really wanted that. How is this guy working 1 hour a week on his business? How is he spending tons of time with his family and running multiple companies? Like, while they're growing at the same time, and he's not. And I just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, that's
That's
why
amazing.
yeah,
That's
so I just gravitated towards
mhm.
that because
Yep.
before my life was working nonstop, stressed out,
Mhm.
drinking, just to escape for a few minutes. Like
I know.
it was terrible. And then now it's like it's totally different. Like I had my baby. I was home all morning and then I got on a half hour early with you. And now I'm in
Mhm.
the office for an hour and I haven't done anything productive for the company today.
I
And
know, but your company's still running and still closing and
it's
painting,
still running.
they're
It,
painting jobs and they're
it's
selling
running.
stuff. And
It's running better than most companies. That's what's pretty
to be
crazy.
quite frank, Daniel, it's probably running better without you. And I think that's the crazy part. Like I know my
That's what I
company.
wanted.
I know.
It's hard to step
Dude,
away though.
Eric Barstow is such an amazing guy, and he really is a great coach. Him and Jason Phillips both. Like I recommend those two people to a lot. And I still coach, but like I think everyone's got a different coach for a different purpose, for a different reason. I'm super happy to see all the success and growth that you've done, being part of those two coaching programs. For me, like I said, I do the one coach a year thing, and I chose Andy Elliott for me. It was the right fit. But I'm with you. Have a coach, get a coach, find somebody, get some help. You talked about earlier on, like you're always better around, you'll be better around better people,
Yeah.
get a
You are
coach,
who
get
your
a coach.
top 5 friends are.
100%.
I mean,
Absolutely.
literally look around. Who's your the top 5 people that you spend the most time with? If you look around and those top 5 people aren't where you want to go or where you're trying to go, you need to change your top 5 people. I don't care, like, they're your best friend or your family or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah,
they literally drag you down. Like, it is
I know.
insane. It is
Mhm.
insane. But like, you got Jason Phillips and you got Eric Barstow, you got Mike up here. Like, you're
Yep.
going.
Yep.
Lucas, Fort
Lucas
Media
is great.
Marketing.
Joel is amazing. Aiden Smith is really great.
Yeah, Hayden Smith.
And I mean, Tanner doesn't even like have an official coaching program, but he does a lot of like free coaching
Yeah.
calls. Tanner Mullen does. And obviously he's a killer dude. Like there's just so many people. And then like you give away so much of your time for free. You don't even have a coaching program. You just like
No,
coach people for free. You just do it. I'm
I
like,
don't want to waste my
there's,
time. I
there's
just
so
want to do
many,
it for free.
I know, dude, there's so many amazing people that do it, man. I completely agree with you. Find a freaking coach, find someone to push you, you know? I love it, man. It was really super great to chat with you, man. Congrats on the new baby. As soon as we get off here, man, I hope you go home
So
and hang
lucky.
out with the family some more. And I appreciate you joining me, man.
Thank you.